Alright, welcome back everyone to KUIG. It's just me, Adam, today. Today's going to be a nice, chill video, just having a chat. But we're going to be talking about something very near and dear to my heart, and to the other lads too. And that is Call of Duty Zombies. Now me and the boys have all, whether it be separately or together, have played zombies since the World War days and loved most of the experiences we had. We've all done just about every Easter egg there is to do, and even times where zombies were at its lowest, Black Ops 4, we still had a blast, because nothing, in my opinion, beats keeping the last zombie alive while you and your mates are searching for that next step of an Easter egg on the night of map launch. So to say we're excited for Cold War Zombies would be an understatement. Now, while I personally had a bit of a sour taste left in my mouth after the ending to the Black Ops 4 Ether storyline, I'm still excited to see that we are potentially, more than likely, going back to the Ether, but this time as possibly the campaign characters. So let's chat about that. The very first tidbit of info we got about zombies appeared after the first Cold War trailer dropped and the Call of Duty site updated with this image and blurb attached. Now obviously, looking at this picture, we see Woods and this new Adler character from the Cold War campaign, both obviously campaign characters. When you see this image attached with the description, uncover a dark Cold War experiments that unleash a new zombie threat to take on in frightening and intense cooperative gameplay with friends. It would lead us to believe that we would be playing as campaign characters in zombies, which would definitely be a change. Now at the time, a lot of people came out and said that this image is more than likely just a placeholder because Treyarch never liked to show too much of zombies, especially this early on. That was until we got our first few second teaser after the multiplayer reveal event just last week. Here is this teaser now. God damn, if that doesn't get you hype, I don't know what is wrong with you. So let's talk about a few obvious things that were pointed out by just about everyone. Firstly, if you go back and listen closely, you can hear the jug jingle playing at the very start of the trailer, which means that we are finally getting a return to the OG perk system, which was a highly requested thing ever since they abandoned it in Black Ops 4. A few frames after we hear the jingle, we see a monkey bomb on the floor. These two things combined have the bigger implication that in fact yes, we are returning to the Ether storyline. Now I love the Ether storyline. The OG crew, whether it be their Ultimus or Primus selves, personally I'm a little bit biased towards the Primus boys, will always have a special place in my heart. That being said, I do think their storyline got too convoluted, especially in Black Ops 3 and 4, towards the end, because it had an unsatisfying ending in my opinion, and it had run its course. But if we were to take the Ether universe with all its wacky perks and inventions and gobblegums and God knows what else, but throw campaign characters in and make it somewhat more grounded and gritty and dark, a la World War II zombies, now that I can get on board with. So let's talk about campaign characters in zombies. Aside from the picture on the website, which, let's be real, isn't too much evidence to go on, we have a few more tidbits to look at too. First off, we have these two characters appearing for just a frame during the new teaser. This woman, who seems to be a new character, one not familiar to us fans yet, but who knows, she could be in the Cold War campaign. We also, though, have this big old eye patch wearing bastard, and some of you may remember him from the Black Ops 1 campaign as Weaver. Now, Gregory Weaver was a CIA member from the first game's campaign. He was a memorable character, but not hugely important in the grand scheme of things. Perhaps having this frame of him in the trailer is a hint to the fact that he will be one of the playable characters in the new Cold War Zombies. We all know how shady the CIA can be, and it wouldn't be that far-fetched, especially linking back to the blurb on the website, which does talk about dark Cold War experiments that unleash a new horde of zombies, to believe that Weaver and the overall CIA have a big presence in this year's entry to Call of Duty Zombies. Aside from Weaver appearing, we do have these few frames here that were all taken from the Black Ops 1 campaign during the cutscene, which some of you will remember, which takes place after Mason kills Steiner, the man in the top left there, hallucinating that it was in fact Reznov doing the killing. Steiner was an ex-Nazi in the campaign, who some of you probably remember this was responsible for creating the Nova 6 chemical weapon. Now we all know Nova 6 gas did make it into zombies, creating the Nova Crawlers. We all remember how fucking annoying they were. And that an Easter egg with Steiner appeared in the Black Ops 4 map Classified. So with all this, we do have a lot of evidence pointing to the fact that the campaign characters, or at the very least some campaign story info, will be tied heavily into Cold War Zombies. Now, watching this, you're probably asking yourself, Adam, why is there transit gameplay in the background? And no, it's not just because I love this map, which I do, I will stand by it, I will die on this hill, but it's because a lot of people are starting to believe that the first map may in fact be a remake of Transit, closer to the way Treyarch originally envisioned a map with today's technology. We have two pieces of evidence, for lack of a better word, that people are using to fuel this theory. First, we have what is probably the most damning evidence to me, and that is the Knockdown stairs. If we take a look at this snippet here from the teaser slowed down and compare it to the stairs here on Black Ops 3, Knockdown, you can clearly see they are more or less the same staircase, with the same rubble type barrier up top and this curved sort of pillar support being identical. The Cold War version just having more graffiti and that funky looking purple arrow, which is more than likely pointing to power. So it looks like we can safely say Noct is returning in some way, shape or form. And Noct did also appear on Transit. So when we take this piece of information and combine it with this shot of the teaser here, many people believe that this, get ready, in fact, could be the power generator room from Transit, which you're seeing on screen now. Now obviously there's one huge difference straight away, the lighting. One is dark and extremely hard to see, just barely seeing a mess of cables going up to the ceiling, whereas the Black Ops 2 version is so bright it looks like an ad for Colgate toothpaste. It's far-fetched, and for this one, for me personally, is a little bit harder to believe, but it isn't totally unbelievable, and I could maybe see the lower part, perhaps even a floor below the generator room, being what we see in the Cold War teaser. So these two things together really have people fully on board with the fact we're getting a Transit remake, and you know what, I wouldn't even be mad about it, I'd be quite happy. But please, Treyarch, don't just give us remakes this year, we need fresh new maps and ideas. We also get a flash of this image, what appears to be two Soviet soldiers discovering some sort of German or Soviet experiment, I'm not sure, and while it's hard to read, it does appear to say something along the lines of Project Cold Station, or some people have said Project Echo Station. Either way, I'm not sure, I don't speak a lick of German, if that even is German, but Project whatever station the name maybe lends itself to the theory of a Transit remake, who knows. Now this is all very exciting stuff, and before I leave you today, I want to have one final look at something that happens every year with Call of Duty and is one of my favourite things leading up to a new COD release, and that is leaks. Boy do I love me some fat juicy leaks. Now leaks are a tricky thing, as we all know, because they can either be 100% bang on or total horseshit. But this leaker on Twitter, Tom Henderson, has a proven track record for COD leaks in the past and has accurately leaked some stuff about the Cold War multiplayer. So while he's probably telling the truth, take all of this with a massive grain of salt, because he can always be wrong, he could be lying, and things can always change in production last minute. But let's take a look at what he has to say. First off, we have this tweet which states that yes, Noct is returning and being reused by the Russians for their nuclear program. We do also see a glimpse of what appears to be a nuke or a fatboy bomb, I'm not too sure, in the trailer, so that does lend itself to that. It says that zombie Nazis escape and infect the site, giving us a combination of Russian and Nazi zombies, which is pretty sick, and that it is in fact new crew. Now it doesn't mention that this new crew is campaign or not, so we're kind of left hanging there again. But it does state that old weapons from World War II remain. MP40, poggers, anyone? No. And that also, like we see in the trailer, you start with a flashlight on your pistol until power is turned on, which is new. That wasn't quite evident in the trailer, it wasn't obvious, but most people assumed because of the fact that, you know, going a whole map in complete darkness using a torch would be quite gimmicky and get quite tiresome pretty quickly on. Now, all of this does sound like it maybe could lend itself to the Transit theory, but in my opinion, sounds like a fresh new take on Noct being on a larger test facility, which sounds even better to me. He also tweeted out that we would in fact see Alcatraz returning in some way, shape or form. Whether that's as a mob remake or a whole new idea is yet to be seen, but maybe this is a hint of Zombie Chronicles too. Who knows? Not much else we can get from this tweet. His final tweet that I could find on the topic of zombies is this one, which states that at least 2 other studios had development input in all modes, meaning we had at least 3 studios working on zombies. Now, while it's obviously safe to guess that Treyarch has the biggest input in zombies, it's their golden child of a mode, they're quite proud of it, I imagine, you can see some input from other studios in my opinion. The dark, gritty and grounded aesthetic with the flashlight only is very akin to World War II zombies that Sledgehammer made, and while we know Sledgehammer are no longer working on the game, they were originally and are still credited as seen in the opening title sequence for Cold War, so maybe that is something that was left over from the zombies that they were going for, who knows. To finish off the leaks, we have just a little tiny thing here, which is this tiny animated GIF that was found actually in the files for Modern Warfare, believe it or not, around the time of the reveal event in Warzone, and it appears to be an animated quick revive logo, which in my opinion is probably going to be an emblem in either Modern Warfare, which I don't think is likely. More than likely it's going to be an emblem in Cold War. You know, not necessarily the perk icon in game, but it's an emblem you can stick on in the barracks. But it does point to the fact that yes, we are getting the OG perk system returning, which is good news. So, with all that I've told you today, that is basically more or less everything we know about Cold War zombies. Now, I hope you enjoyed watching. From confirmed info to leaks, I may have missed a few things here or there, but please feel free to leave comments about other things you may have seen, or even just things you want to see in Cold War Zombies, your wish list, or maybe your crazy crackpot theories. I'd love to read them all. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, and feedback of all kinds is always welcome. Make sure to subscribe to keep up to date with our channel, and to keep up to date on all things Cold War, especially zombies, because I can guarantee you guys that when this game drops, me and the lads will be pumping out zombie videos like there's no tomorrow, and I cannot express how excited I am to get my hands on zombies again and make content about it for you guys. Thank you all for listening to me today. It's been a pleasure. My name is Adam, and I'll chat to you all next time.